So in this video, I want to talk about the time I was forced to get a vaccine by my job. Now, this is not the job I am currently at. This was back in 2021 where I used to work at Optimum, which for those of you who don't know, Optimum is basically just a cable company. So they sell cable, internet, phone, that type of thing. So like I said, this happened back in 2021. That was the pandemic happened in 2020, that big thing, all that was going on. So when the vaccines came out, everyone was all on board about it, all these things, jobs and employers and schools and being able to fly, all those types of things. Now, I personally don't have a super strong stance on either way, like either side of the spectrum there. I just feel strongly that people should have the right to choose what they want to do, and they shouldn't be forced upon to do something such as getting a vaccine or having to wear a mask just because I don't agree when anyone forces their opinion or their beliefs on anybody. So my whole thing is if you want to get a vaccine, fine. If you want to go out and wear a mask, fine. But the same thing goes the other way. If you don't want to wear a mask, fine. If you don't want the vaccine, fine. There should be no forcing, no pressure, no nothing like that. Anyway, this was, like I said, my job. So how I was forced was they basically told me, hey, look, I either have to get the vaccine or they're going to take $200 out of every paycheck because every week they were going to charge me to test me for COVID. So it would come out of my paycheck every week, which was, to me, was ridiculous because why are you guys charging me? You're practically forcing me. Now, I say force, obviously, no, they didn't hold a gun to my head. I could have quit my job. I could have went to a different job. But at the time, I was in the process of, I got approved for this apartment, and but there was a wait list. So I was on the wait list. So I didn't want to switch jobs. I didn't know if that was going to affect anything. This was going back, like I said, I was 22 or turning 22, I believe at the time. And, I didn't, like I said, this was my first apartment. I didn't know how this was going to go. I didn't know if they were going to have to, take a look at my pay stubs again and all that, because that's what happens, at least around here, that, in New Jersey, where they have to, they verify your work and all those types of things. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. So I was like, well, I guess I have to do it, because this wasn't right away. This didn't happen immediately. This happened, like I said, the vaccines were out for a little while, but yeah, so I ended up getting it, and I mean, nothing happened, right? Nothing happened after I got the vaccine, nothing like that. The vaccine itself was fine, but I just didn't agree with it. I didn't like being forced to have to inject myself with something that, not for nothing, nobody knows the long-term effects of this, and no one's going to know what's going to happen 5, 10, 20, 30, 50 years down the line. And it's just, I'm not really big on the injections and medication, all these types of things, just drugs and vaccines. I'm not big on, if you haven't been able to tell from my previous videos about therapy and everything, I'm not big on that. I never wanted it. I never wanted it. A lot of people around me got it even before I did, and I'm like, I'm not getting it. But unfortunately, I was faced with this situation. Like I said, I could have walked away. I could have said no, but you live and you learn. Luckily, thankfully, nothing has happened. It was just this job. There's a couple things I didn't like. They also require you to wear a mask in the store, which I guess is okay. It's whatever. It's their employee. They own the building. They employed me. They're having me wear a mask. But the thing I didn't like was they enforced us to have to tell customers to wear a mask when they came into the store. So basically I worked in it was a retail location. So it was basically people would come in and they would either come in, most of the time they would come in to swap out a cable box or a modem or a router because it went bad or something was wrong with their stuff. So basically they would call up if they couldn't like troubleshoot it over on the phone. They would get a new piece of equipment. They would come in. We would swap it out. We would give it to them. So no big deal. And so they would basically tell us to have to tell every customer to wear a mask on. And like I told you, I'm not a person that I don't like to force my beliefs or, beliefs or anything like that, my opinions on other people. And I never felt okay doing that. And we had a lot of problems with customers. Like they would refuse to put a mask on. We couldn't help them. A lot of smart comments. And we had masks. We would give them. It's not like we told them to go in the car and have to get a mask, But yeah, I never liked it. It just kind of went against my beliefs and my morals and the way I felt about, not letting people. It's just like to me, it feels like it's a sense of entitlement because, I just, if they don't want to wear a mask, they shouldn't have to wear a mask. If you want us to wear a mask, fine. And there was this one time when. A lot of times I would just close the store, like depending on the shifts and everything, I would be alone. Like when I was alone in the store, I wouldn't enforce it. If my manager wasn't around, I wasn't telling customers to put a mask on. If they came in without a mask, I'm not telling them to put a mask on. But this one particular time I remember, it was the last customer of the day. I already closed the doors. I was helping this customer set up a mobile phone because we also had like sold mobile service. So I was helping this customer set up a phone. I locked the doors already because, like I said, it was after closing time. We were just finishing up. And we used Microsoft Teams to communicate, pretty much our company and everything. So I'm helping the customer, and all of a sudden I get a message on my computer from her through Teams. And she's like, why doesn't that customer have a mask on? I'm like, it's just me and them in the store. And she was like, yeah, they need to have a mask on. Whether it's just you two, they need to have a mask in the store. And I didn't even respond to it because I was finishing up. And I didn't even, because I'm not telling them to put a mask on. I'm just not doing it. I just was not about to do it. So I didn't answer. And I mean, nothing ever came of it. I didn't get in trouble or anything like that. But I just thought it was crazy. It was really just a crazy time overall. Love to hear your feelings about that whole pandemic thing, because sometimes I feel like that we kind of act like it didn't happen, and it's like it has been 5 years, which kind of feels like a while, but at the same time it's really not. Like this just happened a few years ago, and it's like we kind of act like it didn't happen. Like we didn't have to go into restaurants and with a mask on, take them off to eat, but if we have to go to the bathroom, we have to put the mask back on. And it's just, there's so many like restrictions and the lockdowns, and like I said, I'm not anti or pro either side, but I just feel that we should have the choice to decide if you want to go out and you wear a mask, you wear a mask. If you want to get the vaccine, fine, get it. But this whole thing about forcing your opinion and saying you need to wear a mask if you're going to, come outside, or if you're going to come inside this place, or, you have to get a vaccine. It's like, who are you to tell me that? Who are you to tell other people what they have to inject in their bodies, or, they have to wear a mask around their face just to go out in public? It's just, I don't know, man. It's, yeah. I don't know. It was a very weird time, but hey, yeah, that was a time where my job forced me to get a vaccine. Long story short, hopefully nothing happens from it, but hey. Appreciate you guys for listening. Like I said, please leave your thoughts and comments down below in the comments, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.